The capital murder trial for Hollis Daniels began with opening statements from both sides, with attorneys appealing to the jury who will determine the young man's fate. More than 5 years since shooting a Texas Tech police officer there on campus. KLBK's Jaxie Pigeon was inside for us all day today. Jaxie, what did we learn in day one?
Well, Terry, right off the top this morning, Hollis Daniels III pleaded guilty, saying he was, quote, responsible for the murder of Texas Tech police officer Floyd East Jr. So right after that, the trial went straight into the punishing phase, leaving it up to the jury to decide if Daniels will get life in prison or the death penalty. After Hollis Daniels took responsibility for shooting and killing Officer Floyd East Jr. back on October 9, 2017, the state says it's still too little too late. During opening statements, prosecutors described Officer East as a family man who lived out his oath to protect and serve. They say he'd only been with the Texas Tech Police Department for 5 months at that time before he was killed. They went on to say that Daniels was afforded many opportunities in life, from having loving parents to private school, but still took wrong turns. Daniels' defense argued that the then 19-year-old was not in his right mind at the time of the shooting, telling jurors he had been struggling with depression, drug addiction, and was suicidal. Prosecutors then called on Daniels' former probation officer, Shelly Cameron. She says after Daniels was arrested for drug-related charges in 2015, she worked with a young man in a drug court program where he had to identify problems, which he said were dishonesty, laziness, and making bad choices, and admitted to not respecting police. It also came up in court that Daniels was a part of a friend group that vaped and smoked together. One of those friends was Jake Webster, who testified Monday. Webster says the group stopped hanging out with Daniels as often because of lying and anger outbursts that he believes were caused by the drugs he was taking at the time, which he claims Daniels told him were marijuana, Xanax, and LSD. Webster testified that the group was hanging out at a house when Daniels left unexpectedly. That's when they noticed his friend Leo's gun was missing. Leo called Daniels back to the house. Daniels showed up and denied taking the gun. In a fight between Leo and Daniels outside, Webster says he heard Daniels say, quote, if I had the gun, I would just kill you and then kill myself, to Leo. Webster recalls Daniels coming back to the house later that night. Webster and his friends barricaded themselves inside the house with weapons in case Daniels tried to kill them. Police caught Daniels, who refused to let them search his car, so he was released. Hours later, Daniels' suitemates at Talkington Hall heard a gunshot from inside his room and filed a police report with Tech Police. And it was on October 9th, 2017, when prosecutors say his suitemates reported that gunshot. So that's when Officer East and another officer went to Daniels' dorm room for a wellness check and ended up arresting him for possession of a controlled substance. That's when they say Daniels pulled out a gun and shot Officer East point blank in the head at the Tech Police Department building. They say Daniels then grabbed the body camera video along with evidence and ran across Tech's campus, where he was captured 2 hours later. The sentencing phase will continue tomorrow morning at 9, and we'll have those updates for you here on KLBK and over on our website, everythinglubbock.com.
Jaxie, thank you very much. We know you'll be covering this trial all week for us.